What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we are going to be checking out my first sets here with this team in Great League, as Great League is back along with Master League, and you guys can look forward to some Master League videos as well this week because I dropped some dust on some of my legendary Pokemon. But today we're running a very interesting team here of Sirfetch'd, Alolan Ninetales, and Cresselia. Now, I got this inspiration for this team from the top performance results from PvPoke.com, from people who are utilizing the battle simulator there to test teams out. These were the top 3 Pokemon, so I decided to try it out. I'll put links down in the description so you guys can find this as well. But these were the top 3, so I decided to try it, put it in an order that makes sense, and well, this team was very, very strong. Cresselia does need that legacy move of Grass Knot. It will drastically help out against Pokemon like Bastiodon, for example, or Azumarill, where you need to do neutral or super effective damage, and that Moonblast comes in clutch against a lot of Dark-type Pokemon that you guys may see like Scrafty or Umbreon. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this team and these battles. How is Great League going for you, or are you guys in Master League? Let's go ahead and get right into the video. Alright, getting into these battles, man, it feels good to be back in the Great League, a very well-balanced league. But we have Shadow Hypno on the lead. This is just terrible, so we're going to swap right away into that Cresselia, get ahead on energy, and we are going to see a Scrafty come in. Now, today with my sets, it felt very clunky. I don't know about you guys, but what's great here with Moonblast on Cresselia is that we can just throw it because it's double super effective because of the fighting dark typing there on Scrafty, as well as we're not going to shield. What I'm looking to do is get shields from the Scrafty because Foul Play won't one-shot me, and look to come in and hard farm with Sirfetch'd and look to throw Night Slashes against that Hypno, right? So we're just going to keep throwing Moonblast. If they decide not to throw another Night Slash and they go for Power-Up Punch, we got 2 shields right there. This is going to be very unfortunate for them. So again, I'm going to go ahead and let this go. My win condition now is with Sirfetch'd to come in and hard farm, and they decided to go for Power-Up Punch. So they're going to have to throw another Foul Play in order to take me out, and if this is Power-Up Punch, it is not going to be enough damage to take it out, which is why Cresselia is so deadly. So Power-Up Punch comes through, doesn't take us out, and we go ahead and go for Moonblast right here, and this is going to be taking out the Scrafty. As I said, my sets today were very, very laggy, as you guys can see, which is unfortunate, and we are going to see Politoed now come in, so hopefully I can get to a Grass Knot in time. No, I cannot. I go down, but I'm going to go ahead and bring in that Sirfetch'd right here. Remember, it has access to Leaf Blade, which will do super effective damage, and I'm not going to shield the first Weather Ball right here. It's going to hurt, it's going to do a lot of damage, but I need to be able to get to that Leaf Blade. So now we're going to go ahead and shield this next Weather Ball. Obviously, I want to keep the Sirfetch'd healthy just a bit so that I can get to a Leaf Blade, and we do get to it in time to take out the Politoed right here. And then we're going to swap instantly into the Alolan Ninetales to get ahead on energy. So we do see that Hypno come back in, the Shadow Hypno, and we can just go for Weather Balls right here. Because we have a shield advantage of 1-0, all we need to do is shield that first punch. If they have Fire Punch, they are going to throw that, which is perfectly fine with me because I can shield it, and I think I might be able to take this thing down with one more Weather Ball and a few Powder Snow. So let's see how this turns out. They actually don't have Fire Punch, which is perfectly fine with me, so we're going to go ahead and just throw this next Weather Ball right here. Hopefully this does enough neutral damage to get it low that I can farm down with fast moves, so let's see what happens. No, not enough. They do get to a charge move in time, and this is hopefully not going to take us out. No, it doesn't take us out. We are going to be able to farm down with Powder Snow, and we have a Weather Ball ready for that Politoed in the back, and that is going to be a good first battle. Very well played. Please let me know down in the comments if you guys are experiencing what I experienced today with this clunky frame rate drop issues. I know for sure it's not my phone. I have a very, very high and a gaming phone here, so just let me know down in the comments, because if it's a widespread thing, we need to let Niantic know. We have Shiny Mew in the lead. This is so cool. Hype to my opponent right here. I'm going to go ahead and go for Night Slash, and then I'm going to bail into that Cresselia. Night Slash will do super effective damage because of that Psychic typing there on the Mew, so we do get a shield, and I'm going to go ahead and bail. I can't stay in that fight too long, right? Shadow Claws keep adding up, and we're doing resisted damage with counter as well. So they decided to stay in. They're going for a charge move. We're going to let it go. Again, with this team, Cresselia can soak a lot of charge moves, and this is, again, why you want to have Grass Knot, is to help out, chip away the health here from Bastiodon. But This team is all about sweeping with either Surfetch or Alolan Ninetales, giving yourself shield advantage, and right now we're sitting very, very good. I'm in a very comfortable matchup here against the Bastiodon. I can easily come in with Surfetch once the Cresselia basically goes down and farm down that Bastiodon for energy. So we're going to go ahead and throw another Grass Knot right here. Now, if they decide not to throw energy, I might look to swap because they swapped late as well. So I might look to store a Grass Knot or a Moonblast and then swap, which I'm going to go ahead and do. I'm going to come in and farm down. Now, they're going to go ahead and throw a charge move. It's going to be Flamethrower, but I'm going to go ahead and shield this. It's going to do quite a bit of neutral damage. So we're going to go ahead and try to farm down, which we can. Perfect. All right, so we have some energy. We still have a charge move on Cresselia. We are going to see a Medicham actually come in. So we're going for this Night Slash. This is going to do neutral because of that Fighting Psychic. Doesn't get a shield though, and no boost as well. So hopefully we can get to a Leaf Blade in time. No, we cannot. This is just going to be a power-up punch, which I'm perfectly fine with. It's not going to be enough to KO, which means I should be able to get to this Leaf Blade, and that is either going to get me the 1-0 shield advantage or chunk the health here, both of which is good because we still have a Alolan Ninetales. We chunk the health. That is absolutely beautiful. So we're going to go ahead and bring in the Alolan Ninetales right here and look to farm down. Now, again, we have to watch out for Mew in the back, but they definitely don't have enough. Actually, I think they might have enough energy for Psychic. No, we're going to go ahead and risk it and not shield, and it is just going to be another power-up punch, which is fine. They're going to go ahead and swap into the Mew, so we're going to go ahead and throw this Weather Ball right here. If this gets the shield, we're going to swap straight into Cresselia and look to go for Moonblast, which we do. We swap right away, go for the Moonblast. We just need to chunk the health. We saw that they have Flame Charge, which means they might have Wild Charge as well, so they won't really be able to throw a back-to-back right here until we farm down. So we're going to go ahead and come in with this Alolan Ninetales and look to farm down. Now, they do have a lot of energy, so I'm just going to go ahead and shield the first charge move again. They could have something else besides Wild Charge and Flame Charge, but they do have Wild Charge, and we are able to take it out, and then the Medicham in the back is going to go ahead and go down to fast moves, and that is going to be a good battle, very well played to my opponent. Alright, moving into this next battle, we have Stunfisk on the lead. Definitely ideal, and we have a lot of coverages to this lead Pokemon. They decide to swap out into Medicham here, so I'm going to go ahead and throw this Leaf Blade for massive neutral damage, and then look to swap into Cresselia. We get a shield as well, which is perfectly fine. I still have a Alolan Ninetales for that Stunfisk and the Leaf Blade as well, so we're going to go ahead and just not shield right here. We don't really need to worry about any charge moves. Psychic's resisted, Power-Up Punch is resisted, Ice Punch does do neutral damage, and we will need to worry about that towards the end if they have it. But they're throwing their charge moves pretty quick, and they do actually have Ice Punch right here, which is fine. You guys saw how much damage this does, but Moonblast right here is going to do super effective damage because of that fighting typing, and it lands perfect right here. So we're going to look to overload on energy. I don't necessarily want to have to give up a shield right here. I may if they do have 2 Ice Punches, but I definitely need to throw my energy first. So we do have the Ice Punch come through. They decide to swap out into, I think, what might be a Hypno, which is perfect. We can go ahead and throw this Grass Knot right here, and it is going to be a Shadow Hypno. So we're going to go ahead and try to get to another Grass Knot, which we can. This is still going to be chunking the health, getting neutral damage here against the Hypno. We still have 2 shields. We can swap safely now into a Alolan Ninetales and basically look to farm down. I might try to force their hand. I will have to shield right here, right? We don't want to get hit with a Fire Punch, but I can force their hand because Alolan Ninetales can sweep this endgame right here. So I'm going to go ahead and farm up a bit and then throw the Weather Ball just before they get to another punch right there. So Weather Ball now coming through. I'm sorry this is hard to watch, guys, but this is how my morning battles went. It was very, very clunky. So we have Stunfisk now come back in. This is perfect. We're going to be doing super effective damage with Weather Ball and the Powder Snows right here, which is fantastic. Boom. Lots of damage right there, and we can easily clean up this game. We still have that Medicham in the back, which has an Ice Punch, but I'm not too concerned about that. My win condition is with Surfetched right now, so we're going to go ahead and throw this Weather Ball right here. This should be getting the shield from our opponent, and then we're going to look to swap into the Surfetched, which we do. We get the shield. We swap now into Surfetched. They swap into Medicham, which is fine. We counter it down, and then we can throw the Leaf Blade right here, but they do decide to surrender, and that is going to be a good battle. Very well played to my opponent. Alright, moving to this next battle, we have Sirfetch'd versus Mandibuzz, and this is actually against my patron, Fuzzy Daddy, so shout out to him. We ended up matching each other in Go Battle League, so this is definitely going to be a tough one. He's a very skilled battler, and we do see a perfect swap into Registeel right here. So Moonblast is going to be resisted, so we're going to just try to hope we get a debuff on them, but we don't get it. Now, Registeel is a great counter here to Cresselia because we're not going to be doing much damage. We're going to be doing all resisted damage, and ideally I should be going for Moonblast right here instead of Grass Knots. These Grass Knots aren't going to do too much damage, and I need to try to fish for that debuff on my opponent so it helps out later on. So what we're going to do is we're not going to give up any shields here. Again, we need to try to sweep with either Sirfetch'd or Alolan Ninetales, and at this point, looking back on it, I need to try to sweep with Alolan Ninetales, and I'm reading in the back that they may have Galarian Stunfisk as well. So we're just going to keep throwing these Moonblasts right here. They're going to have to throw their energy because I will eventually be able to outspam them if they don't, and they just try to farm me down. So a Flash Cannon will come through and take us out. That is fine. So we're going to go ahead and bring in the Sirfetch'd here. Look to farm down and hopefully take him down before they get to a charge move. No, they get to the Flash Cannon in time. This was my mistake. I decided to shield right here. I need to read a bit better that Sirfetch'd, even with energy, can't even do anything against Mandibuzz, so I have to give the shields to Alolan Ninetales. So I go ahead and swap right away to catch the charge move, which is a good catch right here. Not too much damage, but they do have Swampert in the back, which would have been more ideal if I had 2 shields right here in this matchup, because I might have been able to win the pace to the third Weather Ball, basically, because we're obviously getting shields right here with these first ones. So hopefully we can still try to pull this out. I need to get off 2 more Weather Balls, so we're going to go ahead and shield this Hydro Cannon and then look to over farm. I'm going to go, and I over tap right there. They do get to the next one, but the game was over anyways because of the 2-to-1 shield advantage from my opponent. So very well played right there, but in hindsight, looking at this team, if you guys are running it, you need to try to sweep with something, and the Sirfetch'd can't sweep because it can't sweep Mandibuzz as well, so you got to trust that Alolan Ninetales might be able to sweep considering that Registeel is gone. Granted, they might have Bastiodon in the back, and that would be unfortunate, but we'd have to risk it for that biscuit, and that is going to be a good battle, very well played. Alright, moving into this next one, we have Sirfetch'd on the lead versus Stunfisk. Very ideal lead right here for us, and we're going to react accordingly to what they swap out. They're not swapping out, though. This is fine with me. I'll stay in all day. I will perfectly, happily shield an Earthquake and just go for Night Slashes to fish for the boost and look to farm down. So we're going to go ahead and throw this Night Slash right here. No shield by them, but we get the boost. The Duck with the Spear gets the boost, so we're going to go ahead and obviously shield this charge move. It is going to be a Rock Slide shield bait, and they are going to be swapping out now into Medicham. So we're going to go ahead and go for Leaf Blade right here. This is going to force a shield on that Medicham, and we can easily come in now with the Cresselia and look to basically farm down. Now, I have to worry about payback, but they threw the charge move a bit quick, which means this is just going to be Rock Slide. You don't have to shield this right here, even though it is neutral damage from a Shadow Medicham. So we're going to go ahead and throw the Grass Knot right here. This is probably going to be getting... Actually, this should take out the Machamp. Yeah, it does take out the Machamp. They're going to have to come back in with that Galarian Stunfisk, which is, again, why... But they actually bring in Abomasnow, which is why Grass Knot is really, really nice. But Abomasnow is going to go ahead and throw Weather Ball right here. We're sitting really good. We have Alolan Ninetales that can go into Abomasnow, chunk health. We can actually get off a Moonblast as well, which is really nice for some neutral damage here against the Abomasnow. And it actually does quite a bit. That's a big chunk. That's like 50% of its health, which is always really nice. And now we're not going to bring in Sirfetch'd. Remember, we can align Sirfetch'd to Galarian Stunfisk and just farm down. The Alolan Ninetales as well does not need to worry about shielding. It will not get one shot by anything, and it is going to be an energy ball right there, which is fine. We're going to go ahead and swap straight into the Sirfetch'd, farm down the Galarian Stunfisk that swapped in, and then that is going to be a good battle. Very well played. Alright, moving to this next one, we have Sirfetch'd versus Whiscash on the lead. An ideal lead win right here, but you have to watch out for the Blizzard. That is what is deadly from a Whiscash, and we're going to go ahead and overload, and they decided to swap to Jumpluff, which is perfectly fine. This is where Alolan Ninetales can do really well. Because Jumpluff is a grass flying typing, it's going to take double super effective damage from ice type moves right here. So Weather Ball should do a lot of damage, which it does. That's beautiful to see. And as well, we don't need to shield right here. I can safely let this go. Energy Ball is still going going to do a lot of damage, but not enough to warrant a shield. But they did get the defense drop right there, which is very nice for them, which means a Mud Bomb might be able to take me out. So hopefully I can get to Weather Ball in time. I can. Because of the ground water typing here on Whiscash, this is going to do neutral damage to them, and I need all that chip damage that I can get so that counter and psycho cuts, depending on what Whiscash faces off against later on in the battle, can take it down. So we're going to go ahead and let the Mud Bomb go through. There's no reason to shield. They have 2 already. We can safely bring in our Surfetched right here and look to try to throw the Leaf Blade right away. But I decided to go for the extra counter, and we're going to go ahead and let this go. This is just going to be a Mud Bomb, but it still hurts. That's a lot of neutral damage right there. And they swap out into Froslass, which is pretty nice because we have Night Slashes right here. Night Slash is going to do super effective damage and a lot at that, and we can go for the back-to-back. Now, this is going to be getting a shield from them, which is going to put us into 2-to-1 shield versus the Froslass, so we can bring in that Cresselia right here, and all we need to do is go for Grass Knots. We do not need to go for Moonblast. We also have to watch out for Shadow Ball. Froslass here has access to Avalanche and Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball, obviously, because of our Psychic typing, will one-shot us, but we get a pretty decent amount of lag here in a second that you guys will see. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and shield the Avalanche right here, and then all we need to do is get to a Grass Knot, and hopefully we can get to it in time. So we're going to go ahead and shield the next charge move. Obviously, I don't want to get hit with a Shadow Ball, but what we need to be concerned about is their sack swap. And right here, I'm freezing. I'm like, oh, well, they sack swapped into Whiscash, which is a great play by them, but sadly, I was frozen during that, and it just threw the charge move. So now what I need to do is sack swap myself, so I'm going to go ahead and swap into the Surfetched on their charge move. Thank you very much, but I can catch this Shadow Ball right here on the Surfetched and just go ahead and throw the Grass Knot versus the Froslass, and that is going to be a good game, very well played. So you love those games where both opponents sack swap on each other to close the game out. So very well played to my opponent right there. Alright, moving into this next battle, we have Surfetched on the lead versus Stunfisk. Again, very, very ideal lead for us. So we're just going to go ahead and see what they do. They decide to swap into Pelipper. So I'm going to go ahead and go for a Leaf Blade right here. And I'm not sure what count they're at because it's impossible to count with the amount of frame rate drops that I'm getting in these games. So I'm going to go ahead and just swap now into Cresselia. And I'm sorry if this is hard to watch, but there's nothing I can do. This is how my screen looked when I was battling. So we're going to go ahead and let this go. It is just going to be a Weather Ball spam, which is fine. We're going to overload a bit on energy, and they do throw another Weather Ball right here. We don't need to shield just yet. This is what's great about Cresselia, is it's so bulky. You can shield later on if you choose to, and we're going to go ahead and throw a Grass Knot right here. If they decide to shield, I'll go ahead and go into one shield myself to try to get another Grass Knot off. So they do decide to shield right there, which is fine. I'm going to try to get to another Grass Knot in time, but they do have another Weather Ball. So I will shield right here. I want to go into basically a 1-1 with switch advantage, or a 1-0 with losing lead, basically, or losing switch advantage. So I'll go ahead and throw this Grass Knot right here, takes out the Pelipper, and I'm guessing they might have a Jumpluff or a Tropius in the back. So we're going to go ahead and throw Grass Knots. Again, this is what's great about Cresselia, is its energy gain is very strong with that. Psycho Cut is a fast move. The Grass Knots do neutral damage there against Galarian Stunfisk, and it's going to have to throw a charge move in order to take us out. It could try to commit to the farm down, but I will get it far too low, and Surfetched could easily come in and counter down. So they decide to throw the Rock Slide right there and take us out. We're going to go ahead and bring in that Surfetched right here. This is tough. This could be an Earthquake, but they decided to throw it too early, so I'm going to go ahead and let it go, and it is just another Rock Slide. One more Mud Shot right there, and it would have been an Earthquake. But they have Mandibuzz in the back, which is perfect, so we're going to go ahead and bring in the Alolan Ninetales, and things are looking really good. Aerial Ace, as we saw in previous battles, doesn't do too much damage, so we don't need to shield right away. What we need to do is constantly stay over-farmed on Weather Balls, because I need to be able to get off a Weather Ball versus Galarian Stunfisk in the back once we take out this Mandibuzz, because I know Alolan Ninetales can take it out, which is why I'm not throwing Weather Ball back to back, right? I need to be able to farm down. I can soak some of these charge moves right here. It's perfectly fine because the Galarian Stunfisk has some loaded energy, so it's still a dangerous threat. So we're going to go ahead and throw this next Weather Ball. This should be taking out the Mandibuzz right here, and then we will see the Galarian Stunfisk come back in. We're going to go ahead and throw this Weather Ball. This should be getting the shield. If it doesn't, I can easily swap in and counter down. So let's see what happens. It doesn't get the shield. I'm going to swap in, counter down, and that is going to be a good battle. Very well played to my opponent right there. We have Surfetched on the lead versus Medicham. very tough lead to deal with right here. So we're going to go ahead and swap right away into the Cresselia. The Medicham as well is deciding to stay in a bit, but they swap into Bastiodon right there. So what I'm reading from this team now, Medicham and Bastiodon, there's got to be a Galarian Stunfisk in the back, which is going to be very, very tough. But hopefully we can pull it off with a Surfetch or a Alolan Ninetales sweep right here. So again, we're just going to keep going for these Grass Knots. It's going to chip away the health of Bastiodon. And I do think I make a mistake in this match. So let's see how this plays out. They decide to throw their charge move, which is fine by me. I'm going to go ahead and tank it. That is okay. Okay, I remember what I did. I messed up here. So we're going to go ahead and throw this next Grass Knot. Now, what I'm looking to do is throw the Grass Knot, save some energy here on Cresselia, and I'm actually going to swap into Surfetched right here to start countering down and getting ahead on energy. We do see the Medicham come back in, and I'm just going to go ahead and go for Leaf Blades. Now, what I should have done is just let my Cresselia go down, bring in the Surfetched, and take down the Bastiodon, and then safe swap to the Alolan Ninetales, but we do see the Medicham just going for power-up punches, which is unfortunate because they really start to add up. We're going to go ahead and let this next one go. I think I can survive and I might be able to get to a Leaf Blade, but no, one more counter takes us out. Now that is unfortunate right here. This is dangerous, and this is why I messed up. We don't want to have this Medicham in a position where it has so much health left, right? Like a quarter of its health, and I have to take it out with charge moves. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this Grass Knot. We get a shield. I now swap into the Alolan Ninetales, and I'm looking to Powder Snow down. Now, I'm not going to shield this first charge move, or actually, I do decide to shield this first charge move. It is going to be a power-up punch. In hindsight, again, learning from this, right, I shouldn't have shielded that first one. It would have hurt, right? It would have hurt, but I needed to shield the next one and save a shield because there is going to be a Galarian Stunfisk in the back. So that's where I messed up right there, which is okay. I think Surfetch could have swept if I would have been able to swap into Alolan Ninetales and force them to swap out of the Medicham and lose the power-up punch buffs right there. But because it was so ramped up, it was really tough to take down. And hopefully my win condition right here is if I can get this Weather Ball off, but I can't. Because if I got the Weather Ball off, I would have swapped to Cresselia and soaked the Rock Slide. But they do have loaded energy. They take me out with the Rock Slide and then go for another Rock Slide right here. And that is going to be a good battle. Very well played to my opponent right there. So again, Medicham's very deadly, especially when it can do multiple power-up punches, and you want to try to eliminate that variant of the game as fast as you can. So by swapping to Surfetch, I gave it up. So we did really solid this morning with this team, a lot of fun. And I got a flying dinosaur bird, Tornadus. Never heard of this Pokemon before, but this thing looks like a flying dinosaur with a mustache. Yeah, first legendary here in Go Battle League, which is pretty cool. So we'll have to see if we get some good IVs. But what I'm interested in is its moveset. So we caught Tornadus right there. Awesome for Candy. It has Gust, everyone. Did you guys see that? It has Gust, which is pretty interesting. And then we climbed up to 2340. So we're still working our way up to veteran, hoping that I can get there this week. But let me know what you guys thought about this team and these battles. Again, are you guys experiencing the FPS drop like I experienced today, where every single one of my battles just felt super clunky? Let me know, because we need to let Niantic know as well, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.